Have you ever looked at someone in a $500 outfit and thought, why does this look cheap? And then looked at someone else wearing a plain white t-shirt and jeans and thought, why does she look so put together? It's not the price tag. It's not the brand. It's not even the fabric most of the time. It's the details. The small, almost invisible details that your eyes register in half a second before your brain even knows what it's judging. Today, we're breaking down 9 of them. 9 small details that quietly make an outfit look cheap, even when it isn't. And by the end of this video, you'll never get dressed the same way again. Let's begin. Number 1. Visible bra straps and ill-placed undergarment lines. This is the first thing people notice, whether they admit it or not. A visible bra strap peeking out from a blouse, a bra line pressing through a fitted dress, panty lines under white trousers. Here's the thing. Old money dressing isn't about hiding your body. It's about controlling the message your body sends. And undergarments are meant to be a foundation, not a feature. Think about it this way. When a house has a strong foundation, you never see it. You just feel that the house is solid. That's what your undergarments should do for your outfit. Invisible, but doing all the work. The fix is simple, but it requires intention. Nude or skin tone bras under lighter fabrics, seamless underwear under fitted skirts and trousers, and strapless or low back options when your top calls for it. It seems like such a small thing, but the eye catches it instantly, and once it catches it, it can't unsee it. The whole outfit shifts from elegant to unfinished. Number 2. Wrinkled or unpressed fabric. This one is brutal because it's completely unrelated to cost. Every single time, a crumpled designer blouse looks worse than a pressed cotton one from a basic store. Every single time. Wrinkles tell a silent story. They say, I didn't have time. Or worse, I didn't care enough to make time. And in a world where people are constantly reading you before you say a single word, that story gets told fast. Old money families were never obsessed with buying more. They were obsessed with maintaining what they had. A blazer ironed to precision, a shirt with sharp, clean lines, a skirt that falls the way it was designed to fall, not the way gravity and static decided it should. This is why quiet luxury dressing always feels calm. Nothing is fighting against itself. Nothing looks like it just came out of a suitcase. If you take away one thing from this point, let it be this. A steamer or iron is one of the most underrated style tools you own. It costs less than a single going out top, and it upgrades every single item in your closet instantly. Number 3. Fast fashion pilling and fabric that doesn't hold its shape. You know that fuzzy texture that appears on sweaters after a few washes? Those tiny little balls of fabric clumping together on the surface? That's pilling, and it is one of the fastest ways to age an outfit, literally and visually, in seconds. Pilling happens most on cheap synthetic blend fabrics, polyester, acrylic, low-grade cotton blends. They're not built to last, and they show it. Quiet luxury dressing leans heavily on natural fibers for a reason. Wool, cashmere, silk, cotton with real weight to it. These fabrics age gracefully. They soften over time instead of falling apart. Here's a subtle truth most people miss. You don't need an expensive wardrobe to avoid this. You need a wardrobe that's chosen with fabric quality in mind, even on a budget. A well-made basic tee in solid cotton will outlast and outshine 5 flimsy trend pieces every single time. Check your clothes before you buy them. Rub the fabric gently between your fingers. If it feels thin, slippery, or overly synthetic, that's your answer. Number 4. Logos that scream instead of whisper. This might be the most misunderstood rule in the entire quiet luxury world. People think old money means no logos at all. That's not quite true. It means logos that don't need to shout to be recognized. Think about the difference between a giant logo splashed across a t-shirt and a small engraved button on a blazer that only someone who knows would notice. One is asking for attention. The other is simply existing, confident, understated, unbothered by whether you clock it or not. This detail matters because loud logos often signal insecurity about status, not confidence in it. And people can sense that difference, even if they can't explain why. If your pieces have branding, let it be subtle. A small embossed detail, a muted color-on-color logo. Nothing that turns your body into a walking billboard. Because true elegance has never needed to announce itself. Number 5. Shoes that don't match the effort of the outfit. Here's a fact stylists have known for decades. People look at your shoes before they even realize they're doing it. It's almost unconscious. You can wear a beautifully tailored outfit and still lose the entire look with the wrong pair of shoes. Scuffed leather, worn down heels, sneakers that clash with a structured blazer in a way that feels careless instead of intentional. Old money style treats shoes as an investment piece, not an afterthought. Clean lines, classic silhouettes, leather that's cared for, polished, and maintained. And here's something most people don't think about. The condition of your shoes says more about your discipline than your taste. Worn-out heels and cracked leather tell people you either don't notice the details or you've stopped caring about them. You don't need 10 pairs of shoes. You need 3 or 4 that are cared for like they matter, because they do. Number 6. Over-accessorizing. This one surprises people because we're taught that more is more. More jewelry, more prints, more statement pieces. But quiet luxury flips that completely. The old money aesthetic almost always follows what stylists call the two-accessory rule. Pick 2 focal points, maybe a watch and a subtle necklace, or earrings and a ring, and let everything else stay quiet. Why does this work? Because when everything is loud, nothing stands out. Your eye doesn't know where to land. But when there's restraint, every piece gets to breathe. Every piece gets noticed for exactly what it is. Think of the most elegant women you've ever seen, in real life or on screen. Rarely are they dripping in accessories. They're wearing one meaningful piece, maybe 2, and that's exactly what makes it memorable. Less isn't just more here. Less is intentional, and intentional is what reads as expensive. Number 7. Ignoring proportion and fit. This might be the single biggest style secret nobody talks about enough. Fit matters more than price, every single time. An oversized blazer that swallows your frame, trousers pooling at the ankle in the wrong way, a dress that's just slightly too tight in the wrong places. These things instantly cheapen an outfit, no matter how much it cost. Here's why. The human eye is wired to notice symmetry and proportion. It's almost primal. When something fits your body correctly, not too tight, not too loose, hitting exactly where it should, your brain reads it as correct, as put together, as expensive, even when it's not. This is why tailoring is one of the quiet luxury world's best-kept secrets. A $20 thrifted blazer, tailored to your exact frame, will look more expensive than a $500 blazer bought straight off the rack and left untouched. If there's one investment worth making this year, let it be this. Find a good tailor. Learn your measurements. Because fit isn't a detail. Fit is the foundation everything else sits on top of. Number 8. Clashing textures and colors that fight each other. Have you ever put together an outfit where every single piece was beautiful on its own, but together, it just felt off? That's a texture and color clash, and it's more common than people realize. Quiet luxury dressing relies on what's called tonal harmony, colors and textures that speak the same language. Think camel with cream, charcoal with soft white, navy with warm beige. Nothing screaming for attention, everything working in quiet agreement. This doesn't mean your outfit has to be boring. It means the elements have to make sense together. A silky blouse with structured wool trousers? That's harmony. A shiny satin skirt with a rough, chunky knit that fights it visually? That's a clash. The old money aesthetic almost never uses more than 2 or 3 colors in one outfit. This isn't a limitation, it's a formula. Because the fewer competing elements there are, the calmer and more expensive the whole look feels. Next time you get dressed, ask yourself one question. Do these pieces feel like they're having a conversation or an argument? Number 9. Neglecting the smallest finishing touches. This is the detail almost nobody talks about, and it might be the most important one on this entire list. Chipped nail polish, a stray thread hanging off a sleeve, a missing button, deodorant marks on a black dress, hair that hasn't been brushed in hours. None of these things are about your outfit, technically, but all of them destroy the impression your outfit is trying to create. Here's the psychology behind it. When people see one small flaw, their brain automatically assumes there are more they haven't spotted yet. One loose thread makes them wonder what else was overlooked. It's called the halo effect in reverse. One small crack, and the whole polished image starts to crumble. This is exactly why old money style has always emphasized grooming and maintenance as much as the clothes themselves. Clean, trimmed nails, neat hair, even if it's simple, ironed clothes with no visible damage. Because true elegance isn't loud, it's consistent. It's the sum of 100 tiny decisions, all pointing in the same direction: care. So let's bring this all together. 9 details. None of them require a bigger budget. None of them require designer labels. What they require is attention, intention, and the discipline to slow down before you walk out the door. Visible undergarment lines, wrinkled fabric, pilling and cheap textures, loud logos, neglected shoes, over-accessorizing, ignoring fit, clashing textures, and forgetting the smallest finishing touches. Fix these 9 things, and I promise you, people will start describing you with a word you didn't even ask for. Expensive, polished, elegant. Not because of what you spent, but because of how much you noticed. That's the real secret behind quiet luxury. It was never about money. It was always about attention. If this video helped you see your own closet a little differently, that's exactly what it was made for. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this one, and I'll see you in the next video.